That was dreadful. That was truly an unacceptable Thanksgiving performance. I know hosts and shows like this format talk about embarrassment, disaster, unacceptable. What are some of the other words that we've heard?
Shameful.
Shameful, right.
Shame.
Disgraceful.
Shame.
That's the one. Disgrace. A disgrace.
What a disgrace. But come on.
Beachfront property Thanksgiving coming off of that win in Minnesota. Here comes the Washington football team into town. Come on now. Come on now. This is the team that knocked your quarterback silly. Come on now. And I know their offensive line got banged up, but, Zeke fumbling again. 4th and inches, your own side of the field. What are we going to do? And I know Zeke fumbled, but he still makes $90 million back there. That's why you got him off of the beach in Mexico, to pay him all that money. Give it to him, for crying out loud. Sneak it. No, let's be cute and throw it. What? And don't even throw it at Amari Cooper. I mean, what? And then when your defense comes up with a pick six, and great play by Terry McLaurin, by the way. I mean, it wasn't like DK Metcalf going the whole length of the field, but he didn't give up, and Jalen Smith got tackled, and that cost 4 points. That was the difference as well. After the pick six and a 3-and-out, it's 20-16, and your defense on that 3-and-out forces a punt. And then you punt yourself, and you fake it. And I know Jerry Jones said that, this was a maneuver because things were not going their way and they need to do something, shake up, or I'm paraphrasing here. It was 2016. And then the play, look, when you go fake punt and it doesn't work, it very rarely looks pretty. This was particularly ugly. Particularly ugly. And then Dalton throws a pick six to a lineman. I mean, it's just dreadful. Just absolutely positively awful. And if they lose, even if the Eagles lose tonight, Dallas is in last place. And here I thought that they had the best roster and they were going to come off of that win in Minnesota, win on Thanksgiving, take on a Ravens team that's definitely banged up and start getting some wind behind their backs. This thing's, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I see terrible coaching decisions. I see insignificant decisions become completely huge, just like previous years. And I see mistakes. Just terrible.
There is less pie.
Yeah, there's going to be less.
No pie.
I mean,
the only thing I'll say is
I felt for you, brother, on Thanksgiving.
Having Marcus Paul pass away a few days ago, previous to the game, I'm sure that kind of weighed on them. But you're right. A lot of the mistakes that they made on the field, a lot of the play calls, you can't attribute that. I
appreciate you bringing that up. You're talking about the strength and conditioning coach who passed away, and the manner in which he apparently it happened at the facility, as we know, and he had to be taken to the hospital. It's terrible. It's awful. And, and they were thinking of him and playing with the proverbial heavy hearts.
We've all been there.
But it's 2016. And that fake punt was a terrible idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it made no sense to call it the way they called it in the play. Where
from around 24.
Do you think when a gunner starts, going behind the punter that something's up? I mean, what sort of play call was that?
You can say that about 5 times a game with this team. It's
honestly,
unbelievable.
I don't get any of it. And then, but I'll just say this, and then we'll get. Is Dan Orlovsky's going to be joining us? He's calling in. All right. I'll just say this, too, because you got to give credit to the other team. Washington football team, Alex Smith is beginning to feel really comfortable. He's making some good throws. He's cutting down on some of the mistakes, even though he threw one right to Jalen Smith. And Antonio Gibson, I hope you started him, right? You started him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Last guy to score 3 touchdowns on the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day was Randy Moss.
I've heard of him.
Okay. McLaurin is a 1. I'll say it, McLaurin's a number 1.
Yeah.
He's really good. Kid who used to play quarterback for Virginia Tech, Logan Thomas. How's he looking? right? And then defensively, number of times that they sniffed out whatever the Cowboys were going to run and just cut the yak down in 2 seconds flat, and the number of times that Chase Young was blowing stuff up. How about we don't put a tight end on him? How about that? Oh, my gosh.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. I mean, Washington football team, moving forward, they've got a game against Pittsburgh and then a game at San Francisco, home for Seattle, home for Carolina, at Philadelphia. They got a way to go. But you can't sit here and say they can't. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.